Hey guys, it's Katie and I am at Quilly's Big Fish RV Park today, and I am going to talk to you about what I look for when I buy an RV park and what I think you should look for when you're buying an RV park. So buying an RV park I think is a great investment. You have less upkeep than if you were to buy like an apartment complex, and it's probably significantly cheaper. And you get to interact with people on a day-to-day basis that you wouldn't necessarily get to interact with. For example, I'm here right now. There's people from Texas, Oklahoma, actually from Canada, from Minnesota, from Colorado, from all parts of the United States and Canada. And I'm just in this tiny little RV park where it's just like the melting pot of everything. So that's one of the things that I absolutely love about RV parks. Of course, it was daunting for me when I was first looking at RV parks and deciding where I was going to go, what kind of RV park I wanted to get. But what I would really recommend for you guys is you should start by picking the location. I chose the south part of the United States to look, and I ended up choosing 2 parks in Texas and one in Mississippi. But I personally think that choosing the location and where you want to be is the first and most important thing that you can do. So the first thing that you want to do when you pick the location is make sure that it's a location that you would be happy spending a lot of time in. So for example, I chose the South because my family lives in the Southwest. My dad lives in Texas. One of my sisters has a residency in Texas. And so I knew that if I was in the South, I would be able to be near my family. I would be able to see them more often. And that's one of the number one reasons why I got into this lifestyle, is because I love spending time with my family. So that's why I chose location. I'll talk a little bit more in depth about locations and how I think you should choose that in an upcoming video, but for now, we're pretty much gonna leave it at that. Some people talk about building their own RV park rather than buying an existing RV park. And one thing that I will tell you is that there's this guy, his name's Dave Reynolds. He even has like a course on RVing. He owns so many RV parks, and he says that it is so difficult to go bankrupt running an RV park, but the people who do go bankrupt with RV parks are the guys who decide to build them themselves. And that's because, first off, you're in an unproven market. The building costs might be higher than you're expecting, and he says that it's really better to just find a park that is existing, that's doing well, but that has expansion abilities, and to go with that. So that is the thing that I did. With all of my parks, I made sure that there was land that we could expand upon and that we would have the capability of expanding, which we're doing right now. The thing about an existing RV park is that it also makes it easier to see what improvements could be made and how you can make it more profitable. And that actually brings me to the number one thing that I look for when I'm buying RV parks. And so the number one thing that I look for when buying an RV park is I want an RV park that is running, that is profitable, but that isn't running to its full potential. And that is where the real money can be made. So remember, when you buy an RV park, you typically are going to pay 4 to 6 times the yearly gross income of the park. So if you have a park that is underperforming but still performing well, you can turn profit and improve the value of your investment like within the first year, which I have been able to do. Another positive of buying an RV park that's already functioning is that you are starting from day one, you're going to be making money. You're not starting from ground zero and have to work up to be making money. Right away, you can be turning some kind of money, maybe not profit, but you're going to be turning money. In most cases, when I bought the park, we actually just had to make like small changes to the parks. So one of the easiest changes that I made was I was able to put all of the parks online and to get like a fully functioning website and to allow online booking. This was something that made a huge difference for all of my parks. Oh my God, the sun is out. Gotta just cover up, y'all. It's just that we were able to get things online. And then my husband, as you guys know, Leo, he was very strict on branding, came up with a very good branding concept, or I think it's very good. And we were really true to that, so that we created a brand out of the RV parks. That is the number one goal, is like to find ways where you can increase the value of the park with low upfront costs. Obviously, some of the costs do cost more, like for instance, that we're expanding, 27 spots in Vicksburg, or we're gonna put a pool house and a pool here. Like obviously those are big dollar tickets, but if you can look for small things that will increase your revenue, then you will be a happy camper. Okay, Leo says I have to take my sunglasses off because y'all, you all want to see the baby blues. There's some other things that you can look for when you're looking for RV parks, and one tool that I think is really great that a lot of the old timers didn't have is that there's a lot of RV park sites that actually just like specialize in selling RV parks. So like rvparkstar.com is one of them. There's a few. I think I bought 2 RV park store from rvparkstore.com. But I bought 2. I think I bought this RV park at rvparkstore.com. We'll link it down below for you. But that is something that's really helpful because through the rvparkstore.com or through another one, I don't know, there's like Happy Camper, I can't remember what they're called. You can actually get like all the financials, you can get all of the Prosperous, like all the information from the park, and then you can get a really good idea if the park is good for you or not. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of a look into what I look for when I'm buying an RV park. So, you know, an underperforming park that is still performing well, but that I can increase that performance. I like to have parks that have some improvement potential, and I really need to look at what the location is for the park. So make sure that the park fits the location and is going to fit the clientele that are going to be there. And of course for me, I also wanted to be in the south because I wanted to be open all year round. I didn't want to have the winter off, which, you know, there's some merits to be said for that. You know, some of the ideas that I had for the parks were more costly than others, but overall I feel that I'm getting a great return on my investment, and I think that you guys can too. All right guys, so we're talking about what I look for when I buy an RV park. I think one of the best examples I can do for you is to show you this park. I'm going to show you this park, why I think it was absolutely perfect for this area, and then I'm going to actually go and I'm going to show you 2 other parks that are in this area. Both of the parks are good parks, but one park works for this area and one park just doesn't work for this area, and I think that it'll be really interesting for you guys to see the juxtaposition of those parks. Let's get into why I chose this park. Let's just have a look at the view. This park is so beautiful that I knew it was just perfect. So when I came to this park, it had 50 spots. 50 spots is pretty good. I want to get to about 100, but this place came with a lot of land. And although it didn't offer a traditional amenity like the bathhouse or a pool, those are things that we could easily put in. And what it did offer is all of this amazing nature. So it has the stock ponds, they're well established, they're very well taken care of, but it also has, you know, the trails in the back, like over a mile of trails, which I walk every day. But it also has all of these live oaks, and the sites are really unique. You don't feel like you're just, you know, in the in and out spots that we're used to, because this isn't an in and out place. You know, this is a place where people are going to stay a while, so we wanted to feel like that. So you can see here that the spots are pretty well spread out, that it's like a nice little private area for everybody. And that's something that I thought was really worthwhile. Of course, you know, this park came on acreage so that I could expand if I wanted to. And it offers a unique experience for people who are in the area. Specifically, like winter Texans come down here. Well, this gives them a lot of activities to do. They can be outside, they can be fishing, they can be walking. We're close to the beach. All of these things are something that I took into consideration when I came down here and when I looked at this park. Would this park work in a different area? You know, no, if this was an overnight park, people aren't going to want to be backing up and doing this all day. But for this area, this park is perfect. Let's go and look at the other parks. All right, we'll go and look at the other parks, guys. Hey guys, so we've talked a lot about what I look for when I am buying an RV park, and something that I touched at the beginning is why location is important. And something that I want to show you guys is why location actually makes a difference with what type of park you would want to look for. So I'm going to show you 2 parks that are in my area. One park works really well for this area, and one of these parks does not work well at all for this area. However, I think both of these parks are good parks, and I want to just show you why sometimes even a good park won't work in certain areas. So let's go. Okay guys, so we're in the first park that I was talking about. This park is a really good park. Anywhere that the park would be, I would think this park would be really quite good. However, for this area, it is perfect. So here you can see that there are a lot of very ample sites. They're mostly back in, I think maybe 100% back in. But you see, they're busy. They have a lot of people in, and it's, they have really nice rigs. They have a great setup. They have a bathhouse, they have laundry, They have, you know, an office. They have everything that like these winter Texans down here might want. They also, you know, can have like the contractors or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like they have like a very good park, and it is good for the area. And this park, I think really exemplifies something that is really good for like people who are going to be around long term, which is mostly what this area is. So for a short-term park, would this park work? Probably not. I don't think that people are going to want to be backing in so that they can leave the next morning. But for what this park is down here, I think this park is great. So now we're going to take you to a different park that I actually think is beautiful, was made from scratch, but it doesn't work for this area, and I'm going to show you why. Stand by. So these guys are actually a lot busier than they have been in the past, but as you can see on this side, they're still pretty empty. This park, I think, is absolutely beautifully well thought out. I mean, and it's just manicured so well. Everything about it is super nice. They have like a nice bathhouse. They have a nice pool. Their pads are super long, like really easy to be around. You know, everything they have is like very well manicured. They do not stay busy. And I'm going to tell you why I think it is. This is a destination area. And when you're going to this area, it's, you know, beautiful. There's live oaks all around the place. You know, we're near the beach. It's just like a really great place to be. And there's stiff competition. And unfortunately, I think that this park lacks a lot of personality. If this park were off of a major interstate and it was overnight overnight people, I think that they would be at 100% capacity every single day. And I think that the reason that they are not here is because they are not the right park for the location. So, I mean, I'll show you just how empty. And even, I mean, on here you can just see. So they remain super empty. And I actually love this park. I think this park is so beautiful. I'm going to roll it up so you don't hear the highway sounds. It's a little bit loud here. I think this park is so beautiful and so well thought out, but I think that they took away a lot of the heart and soul of what it is to be on the Gulf. There's no trees that are indigenous to this area. They ripped up everything and then just planted these tiny little trees. And it's just kind of like a concrete jungle, which for some people is great. I think that for this particular area, I don't think it works well. And so this is an example of a absolutely beautiful park. There's nothing wrong with it on paper. I think it's so nice, but struggles in the area because the park doesn't match the location. Guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video about, you know, how I choose RV parks, how I look at the location in terms of if the RV park will work. Like we saw 3 RV parks, one mine, which is perfect, but you know, the other 2 in the area, one that I think works really well for the area, and one that, even though it's beautiful and I really like it, it doesn't work so well for the area. So hopefully this gives you guys some food for thought. If you like this video, please feel free to subscribe below. Leave me a comment. Which park do you think for this area would work the best? And what's an amenity that you think is really important when you're RVing? All right, guys, I'll see you guys next week when we're talking about how location.